1,500 people paid for one place. Oh my. In this Lagos. Welcome to another episode of the Project Souq Grandeur. My name still remains Emmanuel Daniji, your usual host. And by now, I believe you all know what the Project Souq Grandeur platform is all about. One expert, his expertise and knowledge shared about everything that we need to know in that particular industry when it comes to the real estate value chain. Today, it's a very beautiful day, and I must really tell you that I'm excited about this topic that we're going to be talking about. Trends, rental values, and everything that every tenant should know. I beg, this is Lagos, and we all know that yes, prices are going high, but how can we locate that particular cheap apartment that we will all actually love? And then what are the common mistakes that we need to know before renting an apartment? Without so much taking of your time, let's welcome Mr. Samuel. He's right here with me. Yeah, Mr. Samuel, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
All right, so Mr. Samuel, it's actually great to have you. I know we've been on this, I've been trying to chase you, I'm running about. But tell us about yourself. Tell us what's it all about.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Danji. It's Manuel. I'm Samuel Joseph. I'm a facility manager and also into renting and of course into property fully. Yeah.
Okay. So that's just it. Short and straight to the point. Okay. So you didn't tell us what part of Lagos that you actually cover. What's your terrain?
Oh, okay. So I cover Ajah to at most Manosa, but then Ajah to Lakowe possibly.
Okay, so yeah, in fact, this whole new Ajah to Lakowe, the whole axis there, and all, there's been a whole lot of developments happening there. So can you tell me what are the factors of actually bringing about this development?
Okay, so I would say from the aspect of this that it's expansion. Investors are expanding, and before now, even till now, there are parts of Lekki. Let me digress a bit. Part of Lekki, Victoria Island, where houses are expensive. Far back, let's say 2 years ago, a room self-contained in Lekki would be going for 4.5 million naira, and two-bedroom and so on. But then people who are coming from outside the state, outside Lagos State, people who are coming from outside, maybe coming from the mainland, they are looking for a place cheaper. Investors as well want to make more money. Not everybody can pay that other side. So they are also moving to Ajah Lakowe side. Ajah comprises of what you know as Ibrahim Adesanya, Sangotedo, Abijo, Ikwakete, Awoyaya, and Lakowe. You have between Lakowe, you have Oribanwa and so on like that. Okay, so there's this expansion that is going towards that end. This is what I can afford. I have money to invest, so people are building towards that end. And then you also look at attractions like Lekki Deep Sea. You have, I'm sure you can't stay beside a refinery, but you can stay around the refinery. So some of those attractions are also there because you go business. Generally, just like that.
So based on your recent market survey, like if
Mm.
your expertise, you've seen the market, you've perused it and all. So when we talk about now rental value, within this access of Ajah to Lakowe, what do you think is the rental value? What's the current rental value? I want to say?
Well, like I said, that this whole thing is increasing. Is increasing. If you look at Ajah, this Ajah we're talking about has other locations inside the place. You have Langbasa, you have Badore, you have Adoro. Before now, people don't want to live in Ajah side.
Okay,
At
yeah.
Ajah because of the traffic you experience at Ado Road. It's enough turn off for people to say they don't want to live in some of those locations. But then, if you look at now, because of some of those things that they've solved, uh, there are beautiful estates there that people wants to move in. I don't know whether I hit on your note.
Sure. Now for this access now, Ajah, Sangotedo, Lakowe, Abijo, and oh yeah. So can you give us like a brief overview of the rental prices? Average. Let's just say average, yeah.
So it depends. I'm going to be real here. It depends. Okay, so when you look at Ajah, like I said, Ajah has Langbasa, Badore, and then so if you are to break it, they have estates. They have like corporate estates or cooperative. They have Palm City, which is like one of the latest right now. Some of those estates are as in the asset. So when you look at rental value in that places, 2 bedroom will be going for 2.5 million, 3 million, 4 million. And also remember that this depends on landlords. Now, when you come to Abraham Adesanya, a room self-contained, then then used to be like 250, 300,000 naira. Now, a room self-contained is going for 800, 1 million. 800 if you see it. 800 if you can manage it. Agents, I'm going to be using the word agent and facilitator. They're almost the same thing. And then, so facilitators, we usually make these comments that people don't pay attention to. They say, how is the house? With 800 naira, we tell you it's okay. There's a between you can live inside. There's a between excellent and the house is okay. But people don't pay attention to the okay. So I've taken someone to a house before, and then because of the budget anyway, and the person said, "This is what I want." Okay, so I said the house is okay because I like to be real with them. The house is okay, and the person didn't pay attention. So I said, "Let me explain the okay." The landlord is not willing to pay NEPA. So what you'll be using in the house is your generator or solar, but the house is cheap. Okay, coming down to Abraham Adeson, Sangotedo, which is almost like the Lekki of Lagos. Lekki phase one of Lagos presently. Far like 2010, house rent in Sangotedo, room and parlor used to be 300,000. In fact, 200,000 naira. I remember my first house 12 years ago in Sangotedo was around 200,000, 150. In fact, 200,000 is like the classic house. Why, and all of that is ahead. Then the thing, in 1 year, 300K presently in Sangotedo to get a room self-contained, like you are okay, 1 million, 1.2. To get a room and parlor in Sangotedo as in standard house for you, you get like 2 million. And it's increasing like that. It's increasing for Lakowe and Lakowe. If you look at what the government is projecting for Lakowe, especially for Lakowe Gulf, it's going to turn to like Ikoyi. So the rental is increasing. It's on the high side. Awoyaya is you can get a room self-contained in Awoyaya for like 800,000 or 1 million naira. So all of these boils down to ego. What is in the pocket?
Okay, so let me borrow your tab, like you said. Okay, but we're not talking about houses that are okay now.
Okay.
Classic, you get it. Excellent apartments, houses of quality. So within the axis of Ajah to Lakowe, which would you say among this area actually offers quality apartments for home seekers?
Well, um, that can be determined by the landlord.
Okay, simple as
So,
that.
and also can be determined by what is in your hand. If you are looking for a house, so I've seen people walk up to me and say, "Oh, I need a house of." Okay, so let me bring this scenario. A client said, "I want a house, a room and parlor of my budget is 350,000 naira, and then you want a third road in this present. You want a third road. You want a POP. You want all of those. You can't get it. The probability of you getting it is, except someone is going to deceive. But then let me give you a Shangotedo, something matching. You can get 1.6 million naira for room and parlor, standard. You can get 1.8 million naira for Shangotedo, standard, right? Okay, for Ekoakete, for 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom with a BQ, you can get 3.5 million. And this thing, they are increasing. So the more you go, let me bring it this way. From Lakowe to Awoyaya, Ekoakete, you can still get a room self-contained for 800,000 naira. They are not okay, they are good. They are good, they match what you have. Then when you come down to Abijo to Sangotedo, what you'll be seeing is 2.5 million naira because of the standard that area. Then when you go further to Abraham Adesanya to Ajah, then you go higher. But then all of this, there are certain things that determine it. The road network. I'm sure if the road is not good and the house is 300,000, landlord didn't contribute to that road. It's the government that developed it. Once they develop that road, the price of the house, of the property increase.
Yeah, so I was going to ask, like, yeah, for people who are relocating to this access, what differentiates all these places? Awoyaya, Sangotedo, Ajah, Abijon, you get it. So, but you said standard, you said road, you said development. What are the key things that people would say, oh, Awoyaya is different from Ajah because of this? Ajah is different from Sangotedo because of this. So, what are those key factors that people actually need to understand?
Investment.
Investments.
Investment in Sangotedo. Let me put it this way to make it simple. Um, Sky Mall, Sky before now, Sky Mall used to be. I'm talking of figures right now. Sky Mall used to be like 1 million naira. In fact, 300,000 naira. Lagos Business School, you see cheaper houses. But immediately Sky Mall came, Blanco invested.
It's true, yeah.
Things change. Prices now, it's not like the landlord. See, it's not like landlord contributed anything to all of this investment. But my property is here. Number one. Number two is that people are working in Lekki. They need a place where they can live and they won't have to spend time in traffic. They won't have to spend lots of money. So most of them will pick places like Sangotedo. Most of the things we do when we are looking for house is that we don't calculate transport. Like from here to Lekki phase one is 1,500. I'm just saying, I don't know, like 1,500 naira. Yours is I'm looking for a house of 200,000 naira, and you just want facing express. But then um, you look at some of those things. But what I would say the key thing is that investment, easy accessibilities. If I'm going to VI and I pass through Coastal Road, some of those things contribute to it.
Very interesting. So, now rental prices continue to increase across Lagos. Yes. So, what are the major factors driving rent increases in the Ajah corridor, the Ajah Lakowe corridor?
Road,
Road,
good road,
good road.
yeah, good road contributes. Schools around contribute. When people are looking for houses, you hear things like, "Do they have school in that place?" Imagine a place where you have to walk like 50 kilometers before you see a school. But of course, on this houses, it's back and forth. And then um, good road network. Like I said, you don't have to stay in traffic before you get uh, to where you are going to. So some of those things, yes.
All right. So, within this access, yeah, which kind of apartments high demands? Are people looking more for a room self? Are they looking more for two bedrooms? Is it studio apartment? Is it three? Are people looking for maisonette? Like what kind of apartment is on high demand within this axis?
Thank you for that question. With my experience, I'll be sincere with you. People are looking for a room self-contained and a room self-contained, which we call just one room toilet, and then one bedroom, which is also called mini
Mini
flat,
flats.
and then two bedroom.
Okay.
The highest of it is three bedroom, which most people don't really go to. But like I say to developers, that just build one room self-contained, and just build mini flat and build two bedroom. You make your money quick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I've got a very interesting question here. It says beyond the advertised rents, which additional costs should prospective tenants expect before moving into a property?
Okay, so I'll come from my end. I remember getting a property a few years back, and the facilitator or the agent who gave me the house did not tell me everything. He just said the house, once you move in, that's it. Of course, I'm coming from a mini or micro estate, not a standard estate. And hearing that, of course, I know, of course, you get. But then there are things that some other people don't tell you, but I'm going to tell you is that. But then it also depends on the location. Um, the first thing an agent will tell you, of course, you pay apart from your rent, you pay legal or agreement fee, facilitator fee or agency fee is the same thing. It's just English. Then there is service charge. Now, in some locations or estate, you need to know the difference between what service charge comprise of. Now, some other people will say that there is service charge and there is water charge, meaning water charge is not part of service charge. And then in some other estates, there's still what they call estate due. Estate due is when you have committee in an estate and a committee or kind of organization, and then they are also working together with the management, but they are not no more sinking. No, maybe sinking, but it's not the same account. In some other estates, it's the same account, but then watch out for legal, watch out for agency fee or facilitator fee, watch out for service charge, watch out for even apart from saying paying service charge, there are certain estates that will tell you that fuel has finished, diesel has finished. We need you to contribute. This is not part of your service charge, just contribute. So, as a tenant, you need to know some of these things before you move to the apartment. If there are hidden things, which are, it comes from the place of questions, but then that's
Yes, in fact, that has what prompted my next question. What are some of these mistakes now that people should watch out for before renting apartments?
yeah.
Especially within Ajah and Lakowe. Because that's your theory right now. So let's see. Within that axis, majorly, what are the common mistakes that people should watch out for?
Well, lots of, but I'll mention few. Number one is that um, people need to inspect the property they want to rent. I've heard stories of my sister will come and check it. My brother will come and check it. Your brother on the other end is a friend to the agent. Agent on the other end needs to pay house rent and is telling you, please, I beg now, talk to your person. Me, take this out. This house is the best. So apart from sending people to come and check property for you, check the property yourself. One. Two, is that you need to check, is it every cranes and crones or what do they call that?
The crazy.
Is that what they call it? To check everything. Okay, so I remember getting a house and I didn't really check. I was in a hurry. After making the first payment, I realized that there's a structural defect. The person I paid to is not in Lagos.
Wow.
It's outside the state. Only the facilitator or the agent know about. And no matter how I complain to him, there's nothing he can do. He will tell you I'm not doing all the property. I'm sorry. Okay, but then I didn't check the crack on the wall, so many other things. So many other things. So I would say that people should check the property very well. While you are checking as well, facilitators or agents who will tell you that this house is this. If you don't pay this, if you don't see, after that inspection, come back to the neighborhood and ask questions. So I took a client to a place I think last year, and before I arrived, he told me 9. He came around 8 o'clock
To see
to
for
hear.
himself.
This guy has have asked questions from neighbors. Sorry, do they have lights? Is their water okay? The worst of question, good road is the road good? So some of us assume, they say that assumption is the lowest level of knowledge, that the road is good. So check the thing. One of my clients called me recently in a property I manage. He said, sir, can you refund my money? Can you tell the landlord to refund my money? And I said, why? Because also refunding money, you need to look at the basis. Is the problem from the landlord, but the problem he was complaining of is from the road. from the road, beautiful house in a bad net, in a bad road networks. So those are the things people should inspect it yourself. Check things before you make payments.
Yeah, so in fact, you've literally about 60-70% answered my next question, because I was going to ask what are the key things people should verify, you get inspect. What are the things that you should look out for? But you've mentioned roads, you've mentioned lights.
Check,
What's the story
check
with
the water.
water? Okay, cool.
Check the pressure of the water.
Pressure.
Yes. Check the if you are living upstairs, if it's 2 stories, 3-story building. See, for people living downstairs, they get water easily without water pressure. From second floor, third floor, fourth floor, no escalator or elevator. Check the water pressure very well. So when you open it and it's like the pee of a baby, ask questions. Is there a way they turn it? Is there water pressure? Are there things so that as an agent in the future, you will not have problem? Because see, there's what I try to avoid from my clients is that you don't stay in your house and start cursing me in your heart. You won't be able to tell me because, of course, I've closed a transaction. So you check the pressure of water, check the light, ask question. How much is light in this area? How much is this? How much is that? What are they? Ask questions. So we, in the bit not to ask questions, we fall into or we become a prey. So that's
So true.
yeah.
So true. So you've mentioned all this in the apartment, and then we all know that infrastructure actually plays a major role in the quality of life. So now let's talk about external things, road, drainage. What are those things that people should look out for before renting an apartment in an area?
Okay. Check out for light. Let's put that.
So what exactly? That the question now is what are the main things? We know drainage, that's be good, but how do you tell all these things? Lights, how do you confirm? How do you so these are like what extra steps should people take to actually make sure that these things are truly in place before they actually go ahead and pay for it?
Like I said, ask questions. After the first inspection, come back for second.
Second.
See, in Lagos, I learned this thing in Lagos that the first person you ask a question about road will not give you the exact location. If you say, "Oh, I'm going to Okokomaiko," Okokomaiko is on the mainland. I'm going to Okokomaiko. Let's say Okokomaiko is first turned by the right. Somebody will say, "Ah, I've heard it before. I've heard it before." Do you understand?
Yeah.
Eh,
Go right, go
go
left.
right, and it's the second right. So you come the first time. Ask questions. It's possible that that area they don't have light. See, there's what we say to people when you want to collect house. This house, there's always light. There's light. So ask questions like, in case there's no light, what will happen? Is there a gen from the landlord, a standard gen, that will serve to pump water? Are we going to, okay, so let me give you one. A property where uh, people paid for the house. I later came to manage the place after payment, and the people were not clear on the aspect of light. What they were told, according to them, is that there will always be light. This is Nigeria.
Yeah,
Let's be realistic.
you can't always be light.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I've seen 24. Maybe I've seen 24 hours light in the 80s or 90s. Oh, sorry, I'm not that old. I'm not that old. Okay, but then let's be realistic. 24 hours light, and then something happened to their transformer. Got to know that whether 20 people or 10 people are using transformer, 10, 20 transformer, and then there's shortage of light. What do we do? People didn't ask question. What they told, all the agent told them was that there's going to be light every time. What about it? Yes. And then now they are facing no light. What are we going to do about it? So light question. Road. If you are not okay with the road, say you are not okay. I took a client to a place one time. She said she wants, I think, 300,000 naira to fall of ours. Then, like 5 years ago, she told me what she wanted. I don't have it. So I consulted someone and I said, this is what my clients want. The person told me there's POP, showed me the video. This. By the time we entered that road, I loved the lady. She just said, "Ah, no, 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 no. This is not what I'm looking for.
Just because of the road.
Yes, this is not what I'm looking for. Don't manage it if you can't take it.
True.
Don't say you will manage it. So check out for the road. Check out the kind of car you are using. Will my car be able to pass this? If you cannot price, there's no need to. If you can't play, most times that's why people prefer estate, either private estate or government estate. That's why people prefer estate, because all of those things are done before you. Even with the estate, you still need to check things very well. I don't know if I'm answering your
Yeah,
question.
sure. Yeah, definitely. Um, I like the way this is actually leading to the next question because now we've seen people fall victim for a lot of property fraud and all those kind of things. They didn't verify everything. So when we talk about this property fraud of a thing, how do people um check the authenticity of a property before even moving in? How do they actually even know that this? How do I put the question to you now? You don't go and pay into the wrong hands and those kind of things. Or this property, is it truly for this person or so how do people actually verify that?
I'll tell you a story.
Ah, I love stories.
I heard the stories some years back. It's a pathetic story. So, a friend of mine who happens to be an agent, so I think we went for a JV discussion and the person we were looking for. And they said, you can't see the person. What happened? So, let me tell you the story. I heard that 1,500 people paid for one place.
Oh my.
In this Lagos. 1,500 people paid for a particular property.
It's a
The
lot.
case, as of the time we were talking, the case was already in the court. In between that time, somebody said, you heard about 1,500. The other person said, it's 2,000 people now.
I
One property that the landlord is not ready to rent out, but drop key with someone, and then we're making money on top of these things. See, there are
right.
different sides of story about renting, and as much as possible, I try to avoid trouble. Okay, some of the mistakes that clients on the other end make is that um, you are my client. Sorry, take it to a, oh, I don't have your property, but I have someone who have the same property. Then I'll take you there. Then we go together. This has happened many times. Then I take you there. Oh, meet so person. But you are still on my side. Then we check the property. You've seen the property. You love it. You are going to pay. Maybe while I'm receiving phone call, then you start talking to the other guy, collect his phone number, then you avoid me. Meaning, it makes me to laugh because people do it a lot. Then you sidetrack or sideline the other guy, take him out of the picture for the same money you are going to pay. Now, you know this other agent very well, but you don't know this one. It's just a small introduction. See the person in charge of the house, and then you leave this guy. And then you also leave that same property and start dealing with this. Along the line, then you say things like, this time I'm saying like an explanation. It's a story that happened. And then you start dealing with this other guy. Then this guy distracts you from the property that you love to a different property entirely. Then I, on the other side, will start calling you, hey, how far? I say, I'm coming. I remember a client told me some years ago, he said, I'm going to pay by 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock, where are you? 1 o'clock. After 2 days, she called me and she said, I'm sorry. That guy that joined you people when we were discussing told me that he has something better than this that your money can pay for. He has something, and by the time she saw something better, see, there are red flags in these things. See, once somebody tell you that this house we've not, maybe on a plastered house where they've not finished constructing, pull out. Just say, tell the landlord or the person, finish your building before I move in. If you pay, see, let me tell you something about agent, and I tell people about this. I tell my clients about this, especially if the property is not from me. Because when it's from me, there's this trust. But then it's not from me, there's still trust that Some of them will ask me, Mr. I'm going to pay money now. I'm about to press my pay. Should I go ahead? I say, go ahead. Some I will say, just wait. Do you understand? You sideline people. I'm going. Okay, I was talking about unfinished property. Somebody have not finished property. See, once an agent collects agency fee, you're on your own with the landlord. Once you pay that money, you are on your own. So verify the landlord of the property. Is it the owner of the property? Like I said, after the first inspection, to the second, third, fourth inspection, don't allow anybody to hurry you, to put you on high tension. Agents, we do it a lot. Somebody's going to pay. Oh. I remember, I think last year I was looking for a house, and we too will look for a house anyway. I was looking for a house, and I saw a property. Somebody told me, if you don't pay, somebody else will pay. I said, let the person
And
pay.
the person
You
pay.
can't use that trick on me. Do you get? Let the person pay for it. Nobody. I also understand the scarcity of property these days. But then verify your property, verify the agent, verify the landlord, confirm that the person they call the landlord. Ask for names of the landlord. Is the landlord that owns that property. Ask questions about property. I'm just, or maybe just thinking that those 1,500 people that pay for that apartment, some of them pay out of, I'm in a hurry, my landlord has pushed me out, my load is out, and
That's a very interesting one. That's a very interesting one. Okay, so let's map out something now. We have first time renters, people who are just coming to a new area. We have people who are families, you guys have got a family and they actually want to live in the place. And then we also have young professionals. Maybe they got a job, let's say within Ajah and Lakowe now, and they were maybe on the mainland before, so they had to get a new place because of possibility to work. Which areas within Ajah and Lekki would you say they should go for? Now, let's say families now. Where should they go for? For first time renters who are just probably just moving out of here. And then for your professionals, where should they go to? Within that axis, what kind of look?
between Ajah and Lakowe or Ajah and Lekki,
No, Ajah and Lakowe.
Ajah and Lakowe. So it boils down to your pockets.
One.
One, you must know what is in your hand. Two is, I would suggest Abraham Adesanya. If your place of work, like you said, is at Lekki, I would suggest Abraham Adesanya. I would suggest Sangotedo. I would suggest Abijo. Now I'm going for that now. I would suggest even the Lakowe. Now depends on where you want to wake up. But first, what is in your pocket determines. Most people who come from the mainland are coming with the mindset of the house must be big because mainland is big,
Is big.
the space and so on like that. They are coming from the mindset of where I'm coming from, paying 1.2 million. That place should be 500,000 naira because it's not Lekki now. So that's why I said what is in your pocket determines all of that. But if you are coming from that side and your place of work is here, is in Lekki or Victoria Island or where was it? Abraham Adesanya is good for you. Sangotedo, which is Lekki phase one of the future, is also good for you. Once you get to, so I don't want to demarket areas because there are people living there too who also work on the mainland. But in terms of proximity, Sangotedo, Abraham Adesanya, Abijo.
Yeah, beautiful. What about
Yeah.
for family? People are coming with like families. Do you think this area still work? Now we know we've gone outside work now. Because of proximity to work. What about family? Which area befits family?
Um, Family will determine what they want. Okay, so for family, there are other things you also need to look when it comes to that. Both families and young profession, you need to look at the security of that location. How secure is that place? If the place is not secured, you won't want to put your family in such dangerous places. Do you understand? For every location between Ajah and Lakowe, they are fantastic areas. It will only sometimes depend on security as well. A location where I can't close from work at 2 a.m., 11 a.m., I can't walk on the street. There won't be need. That's why I said you need to ask questions. Are there securities? There are locations where they don't pay securities. You just live inside, pay your agency fee, and then you live there. Nothing. But there are also locations where you pay security. You want that comfortability for your home. Every location from Ajah to Lakowe is good. But if you ask me,
I go out. Okay, that's beautiful. Now, down the line, some minutes ago, you did say like 5 years ago, there was someone who came to you with 300,000 naira to get a place. Now, let's look ahead. In the next 3 to 5 years, what do you think about rental prices within this axis? Ajah Lakowe.
see, there's this gist I hear these days. People say, real estate is going to fall.
Wow.
Oh, yes.
But this is the first time I've heard that.
Hear it from me again. Real estate is going to fall. One economical this thing. Real estate is not like stock, shares. Growing up, I think I was in school when my uncle told me that. She said, invest in stocks. I'm coming back to your question. Invest in stocks because he said that something always happens to stock, and the thing is a recycling. Like every 30 years, the thing will fall and then it will peak again. And when it falls, you invest, and then when it peaks, you enjoy. Let me not go deeper into FOMO, fear of missing out, and some of those things. For real estate, real estate is not going to fall. If you want if we are saying real estate will fall, which is what is new to you, that statement is that you're talking about war. Nobody prays for war. Okay, so in the next 5 years, for me, for this for this Ajah Lakowe, next 5 years is too much. It's too long. It's too far. Let's talk about in the next 1 year to 2 years.
So you're saying that there's definitely going to be increase. The rental prices are they're going to keep
Room and
skyrocketing.
parlor used to be three. In fact, let me put it this way. Room and parlor used to, apart from that 12 years ago, as of 2 years ago, as of 2 years ago, 2 bedroom in an estate, some locations, okay, because I'm sure some of our people hearing me will be like, it's not accurate, okay. So 2 years ago, room and parlor used to be like 550,000 naira. Just 2024 year, 550 somewhere. Highest you can see for room and parlor, 1 million. Some other people are paying something different, but I'm just saying that. But this something happened last year, June, July, August. Apart from population coming down to this side, there was also the increment of the price of cement, sand. Some of those things skyrocketed, and I kept on asking people who have built their house 10 years ago, how did this cement affect you? I'm a businessman. Whether cement increase or not, I want to increase my rent. And then that what happened in that space of time last year, June, July, August, affected the entire property. Both renters affected, even purchase of land, cement affected, shortlet inclusive, affected everything. So in the next 1 year to 2 years, I hope we see the way I said to somebody, I said it's like we are moving the way it is, the way this thing is. It's as if we are moving from Lekki, Sangotedo, Abijo. I hope that one day we'll not move to Djibouti because it's going to increase. It's going to increase.
Okay, so we're rounding up here. So before the last question, yeah. If say I have 1 to 3 million naira right now, where would you advise that I actually get an apartment within Ajah and Lakowe?
1 million. Also depends on what you are looking for. If you are looking for Ajah, let me say Ajah. Let's leave some of those locations in Ajah. Let's just say Ajah. Ajah also comprises of those locations and also the Grandma Desoya. With 1 million, you should be able to see a room self-contained, a room, kitchen, and toilet. With 2 million, you will see room and parlor. With 3 million, you will still see. So it depends. Skymore, are we good? Am I good mentioning the Skymore? You can see a 2 bedroom for 4 million. As I said, investment affected some of these things. Proximity. So with 1 million, you see one room self-contained. With 2 million, you see a room and a parlor in 2026. With 3 million, you might see 3 million. You might see 3 bedroom in Sangotedo, but in Abijo, yes, Abijo the same thing, 3 bedroom. Lakowe and with 2 million, you'll see two bedroom.
All right,
Three
thank you
bedroom.
very much.
Yeah.
No, I know I focus so much on Ajah and Lakowe because that's your artist. Yet, to close up, yeah. Um, what is that one thing you would tell anyone who wants to rent an apartment right now in Lagos generally? Just what one quick throw, like okay, quick advice. This is just it.
What I always say to my people is let your budget match your expectation.
Wow,
I want a house. The client once told me I want a house in Sangotedo. How many? Say 2 bedroom. What's your price? He said, yes, 180,000 naira. And I'm like, Sangotedo here or Sangotedo in Ogun
Lagos
State
State.
or in my state? Where? Let your expectation and your budget let them align, because some of these things throw agents off guard. Some of those things make agents to say, "Hell, you are giving me inspection fee." I don't collect inspection fee for every good reasons. Okay, but then you hear them say because they know they won't see it. Um, an agent has also taken me to house that the gate is locked, and he knows that the gate is locked. So what do you want? Your budget, let it match what you are thinking. Don't tell me a third road with that kind of but that's it.
Thank you very much, Mr.
Yeah.
Samuel. Thank
Thank
you
you, sir.
very much. It's
Thank
been
you.
a very lovely and insightful episode. I want to believe that the listeners right now know what they need to put in place before they actually rent an apartment. You've given us a whole lot of nuggets on this particular topic, and then it's one thing that people actually needed to be enlightened about. So it was great having you. Thank you very much for
All right.
coming.
Thank you, sir.
And that's it. It's a wrap on today's episode of the Project Souq Grandeur. If you've listened, you've watched us, definitely now I'm sure that before you rent your next apartment, you will let your budget align with your expectations. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, share this video, tell your friends about it. Definitely, I know you have someone who actually wants to rent an apartment or will be renting an apartment soon. Real estate is not falling. Like you said, the prices will keep going up, so stay prepared. Until we come your way again on the next episode. Thank you, and God bless you.